You know what I love, Horry?
What's that?
I love the Bad Batch.
So do I.
I love them so much. Wrecker just being a beaming bundle of joy at Omega being home
Mm.
is giving me life.
Oh
He's
yeah,
just so happy.
he is. And there was so many funny moments as well. Like, obviously happy to have her back. He's like, well, Omega trusts Crosshair, so I
Yeah.
trust Omega. He just wants everything to be back to normal. Back
Wrecker
doing their
just wants to live with his
missions.
family, yeah.
Yeah.
It's so funny though, because it also shows how much Omega's changed as a character over these 3 seasons. In the first season, she was very much the child they're just trying to protect.
Yeah.
But having lost her, not being able to find her, she's escaped, got their brother back, found their way back to them.
Mm.
Wrecker's like, hey, Omega says he's cool, good enough for me.
Yeah, they
Also, did you see the awesome dog she got? We're winning.
yeah. I also love that the dog was playing with I don't know what those creatures are, the monkey looking creatures on the
Yeah.
island.
Batcher is having a great time, and I
Yeah.
adore him.
Living his best life after being in an imperial dog kennel. But it was an interesting episode.
For sure.
It was, do you know what was really weird was seeing Crosshair back in that, like, obviously makes sense. They kept, like, Wrecker being adorable, being like, well, I kept the armor because I just couldn't throw it away. Didn't feel
Yeah.
right. And he's like, gives him his old armor back. It was weird. I'd got so used to the Bad Batch's new art. Like, obviously it's still the same armor, but it's got the newer color scheme.
Yeah.
Having Crosshair back in the black and red, I was like, this looks weird. I'd
Yeah.
kind of
It stands
forgot
out
that's what
still.
it looked like. But
Just because
also,
it's not been worn down.
yeah. But I thought it was interesting that the start of the episode when he's off train or attempting to practice his aim,
Yeah.
which felt a bit harsh having the medbot do that. I'm like, we know he's missing. It's like
50% far below your normal.
yeah, what was it? It's like 53%. And we're led to believe that Crosshair doesn't miss. So he's like lost half his accuracy, which is.
And it's clearly bugging him as well.
Yeah.
It's going to definitely be a major plot point. They
Yeah,
are like
no.
ramming it down our throat of, don't forget he's got the shakes, he can't hit his shots.
Pause. No, I think you're right. I think you've been saying it for a couple of weeks now. Of like, it's clearly going to be an issue of him trying to figure out where he fits in. And I think that was also sort of showing like he hadn't changed out of the clothes that he'd got from that other planet. He wasn't talking to Wrecker and Hunter. He clearly was like kind of not wanting to rejoin properly or like adjust back into the group. And I think the hand thing's also throwing him off.
You know, when it's normally more something that like people will remember from the school days, but you remember when you'd have like an argument with your friend and you'd feel bad about it and you'd want to apologize, but you thought they were still angry at you, so you just went, fuck it, I won't talk to them because I don't want them to think I care. And then you just don't talk about it for ages. It was that kind of an energy. It was like he's my brother and I love him, but he doesn't want to apologize to me either, so I'm not going to give him the satisfaction of being the first one to apologize. Which is why they're both so combative the entire time. When in reality, they do just want to give each other a big hug and go, "I'm so glad you're okay."
Yeah, it's almost like Hunter clearly was like, I don't trust him, but didn't want to like question it, but wasn't wanting to question him yet. Was kind of wanting to, okay, Omega says it's all right. She doesn't want us to fight, so I'm not going to have a fight. And then you got Crosshair, who's like, almost you get the vibe that he wants to tell them, look, I fucked up. I know I fucked up.
Yeah.
And like explain everything. But he also doesn't want to admit that he was wrong to them. And it's kind of this like tension was building through the episode till and like they're on the. I thought it was funny when Echo arrived and he gives Omega a hug and then he's like, "Oh no, hug for me!" And it just like glares at him like, "No, you don't deserve a hug." But yeah, then they like butt heads a bit, obviously on the planet. Hunter and I like how as soon as he admitted that he'd shot an Imperial officer and he realizes that they betrayed him, Hunter almost was like, okay, you realize what's going on now.
Yeah, you get it. He was trying to work out whether Crosshair was just being Crosshair, who was always combative, and
Yeah.
it got him thrown in the brig, or if something could actually happen. That's what he was trying to work out. He's like, are you just here because the Empire threw you out and you don't have a choice, or are you actually against the Empire?
Yeah.
Because there is a big difference in
I
Hunter's mind.
I really wanted him to admit of, like, what that planet was and, like,
Yeah,
explain that, "No, I had those men here that I actually ended up giving a shit about, and they betrayed them, so I that was the final straw."
I watched them cast our brothers aside, and I wasn't gonna let it happen.
Yeah. I really wanted him to, like, just explain it, but obviously.
I've got a feeling
Mm,
that you're right about Tech, and they've given Tech some kind of augmentation to kind of replace Crosshair. Because they were clearly
mm,
experimenting on Crosshair to work out what caused his augmentation. And
yeah.
I've got a feeling that Tech's body has been like resuscitated and just given a fuck ton of augments, and he's gonna be like super clone.
I so I'm leaning into this now because we're clearly with Echo. Him and Rex are obviously trying to find this facility because they want to free the
Yeah.
clones. That was the whole. They're trying to find information. That's why they went to the ice planet or whatever. Um, one, just give us Rex already. Like, I just want to see Rex again. Um,
Where's my boy?
but it's like that's clearly what they're setting up for,
Yeah.
which I really do think. There's obviously we keep saying about we're worried Omega might die. I have my new theory now is they're going to end up at the facility, and in the like chaos of trying to free people or storm it, that one that I've said might be Tech is gonna his helmet's gonna come off in a fight or something, and they're gonna realize it's Tech, and he's like, "No, I'm not this person that you like." He's completely memories different, but
I'm
it's like
CT, whatever.
Omega's gonna be Omega and be like, "No, I can save you. You're
Yeah.
my brother," and he's then just gonna capture her because she's trying to help him. And then there's going to be this issue of the other guys don't want to shoot Tech because they can't bring themselves to do it. Or like Crosshair is going to be too shaky or something. And then there's going to be some scuff. Like it's going to be the reveal
Absolutely.
of Tech being alive that is going to just cause chaos. And
For sure.
someone's going to die, if not multiple.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Omega's character is so clearly defined as like, I will do what is morally right, even if it's the dumb thing,
Mm-hmm.
that I refuse to believe she survives this and doesn't end up fighting in the rebellion.
Yeah.
There's no way Omega,
No.
this little Australian sounding girl
Mm-hmm.
who's learned all this from her big brothers,
Yeah, she didn't end up on an island for the rest
finds
of her
yeah,
life.
finds out that the rebellion's going on. She's like, nah, I'm gonna chill on the tropical paradise, thanks.
Yeah. Didn't happen.
In reality, if Omega survives, she in reality would have been as big a part of the rebellion as like a Princess Leia. With Omega's mind and her passion for everything, she absolutely would have worked her way up to be that important in
Yep.
the rebellion. So unless
Uh,
they're going to do like a Captain Rex thing where we're like that old white dude in the original trilogy, that was Captain Rex,
yeah,
so
that
he can
old
make the
lady.
design match up. Imagine if they try and make Mon Mothma. Ignoring the fact that timeline wise that can't work, imagine.
No. But I am worried that there's gonna be I do believe there's gonna be some twist. And
Sure.
yeah, I'm very worried for Omega. Clearly this whole handshaking, they're still focusing on this. I think it's to play into he doesn't know what to do with himself because he can't be what he was. And also I think it's gonna be an issue when there's like a life or death moment.
Yeah, I can absolutely see him also falling on his own sword to protect someone as
Mm,
like a final act of I'm sorry I betrayed you before.
yeah. Definitely can see him sacrificing himself.
This show's gonna start hitting us really heavy in the feels later on, for sure.
Yeah.
No doubt in my mind.
Why
Um,
I just hope Wrecker. I'd love if it's just Wrecker and the dog left. If they're the ones that have to survive,
I do
Wrecker and the
feel like
dog would make a great duo.
I feel like Wrecker without the rest of the Bad Batch though would just decide he's going to punch the Empire into oblivion by himself as revenge.
I do worry that there could be a situation where we end up with just Hunter or something.
Yeah. Total squad wipe is real possibility.
Also a possibility. They could be
Because with
real
how much
harsh to
Lil
us.
care for each other, I can't
Yeah.
see one of them surviving and not just going on a fucking rampage. Maybe that's what the next animated show is. It's just Hunter Rampage, and it's just like 12 episodes of them just being an absolute ball ache for the Empire and causing loads of damage.
Imagine.